what you are thinking. Most of the time, a deeper dive into your mind's patterns. What I've often seen in Vedic astrology is that the fifth house, its ruling planet, and the sun in your chart reveal a lot about your thought patterns and mental energy. These elements combine to shape not only your intellectual approach, but also your creativity, passions, and even romantic inclinations. Let me guide you through how each part of this cosmic trio impacts what you're likely thinking about most of the time. 1. The fifth house, core of your thoughts and creative energy. Intellect and creativity. In astrology, the fifth house is your center for mental energy and how you channel creative expression. If you find yourself deeply drawn to art, music, or conceptual work, it's likely because this house has strong influences that make you naturally creative. Romantic thoughts and joy. This house also governs romance and love. So if you're daydreaming about love, the fifth house has a role here. You're often thinking about joy, excitement, and even the thrill of speculative risks because this house fuels those desires. Judgment and speculation. When you weigh risks or have a gut feeling about something, that's your fifth house talking. It controls your ability to make calculated moves. So if you're drawn to areas that involve speculation, like investments, this house plays a big part. 2. The fifth lord, directing your thought patterns. The planet ruling your fifth house, known as the fifth lord, gives direction to your thoughts, focusing your intellectual energies. Its placement in your chart is like a map to understanding what captivates you mentally. If it's in the first house, you're often self-reflective, thinking about how you come across to others or how you express yourself. In the second house, family and security are big themes, and much of your thinking might be about values, traditions, or stability. In the third house, you're likely absorbed with learning, communication, and perhaps building specific skills that let you express yourself. In the 10th house, your career dominates your thoughts, guiding you to think about achievement, recognition, and success. Tasha 3, the sun, illuminating your sense of purpose and thought clarity. Self-esteem and purpose. The sun represents your soul and drives your sense of purpose. If your sun is strong and well-placed, you're likely confident and clear-minded, with thoughts that gravitate toward meaningful pursuits. When you feel the urge to work toward something significant, that's the sun lighting up your mind. Sun's placement effects. In the fifth house, you're often thinking about leadership, creativity, and ways to stand out. It amplifies your desire for self-expression. In the 9th house, your mind wanders toward big picture ideas, philosophy, and perhaps spiritual concepts. You're drawn to explore and question. In the 12th house, your thoughts may turn inward. This placement pulls you toward introspection and possibly even spiritual or subconscious exploration. 4. Aspects and conjunctions, shaping specific thought themes. When planets influence your fifth house, fifth lord, or sun, they add layers to what you're thinking about. Jupiter's influence makes your thoughts optimistic, broad-minded, and often philosophical. Mercury's influence sharpens your analytical abilities, making you focused on communication and intellectual agility. Saturn's influence adds seriousness and sometimes skepticism, making you think practically and with discipline. Mars's influence intensifies passion and drive, but can bring impulsive or assertive thinking if not balanced. 5. Combining these influences for your mental blueprint. By considering the unique blend of your fifth house, fifth lord, and sun's positions, I can get a sense of your main mental themes. Here are a few examples to show how these play out. If you have a powerful sun and a fifth lord in your 10th house, your mind is likely focused on ambition and creativity in your career. If your sun and fifth lord are in water signs or in the 12th and 8th houses, your thoughts might often be introspective or focused on deeper, transformative subjects, such as psychology or even the occult. Nakshatra influence on thought process in the 5th house. Now, let me examine the placement of different planets in each one of the 27 nakshatras of Vedic astrology within the 5th house, and let's see how that plays out in your thought process. Each nakshatra brings its unique flavor to your mind's landscape, and the planetary placements within these nakshatras can further refine and add depth to what you think about and how you process the world around you. Thought patterns of Krittika Nakshatra. For all ascendants, Krittika Nakshatra, spanning Aries and Taurus, embodies fiery energy, critical thinking, and a sharp, discerning nature. Ruled by the sun, Krittika is symbolized by a blade or flame, representing the power to cut away negativity, illuminate truth, and bring clarity through precise action. People influenced by Krittika often seek to transform and purify, bringing a sense of sharp focus, perfectionism, and the courage to face challenges head-on. Here's how the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra shapes your thought patterns depending on the ascendant and house placement. Aries ascendant, sun as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, first house. With the sun as the fifth lord in your first house, Krittika's influence makes you think about self-expression, identity, and personal power with an intensity and clarity that is unmistakable. Your thoughts are likely focused on leadership, integrity, and cutting through illusions to reveal truth and authenticity. You may often contemplate how to project yourself with strength and purpose, driven by a desire to make a powerful, impactful impression. Taurus ascendant, Mercury as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, 12th house. With Mercury in the 12th house, Krittika adds an edge of precision and insight to your introspective thoughts. You're inclined to think about spiritual or hidden truths, and Krittika's discerning energy encourages you to seek clarity in matters of the subconscious or unseen realms. Your thoughts often center on how to articulate complex ideas or spiritual insights with a clear, analytical approach, finding ways to cut through confusion and bring understanding to deeper, hidden aspects of life. Gemini ascendant, Venus as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, 11th house. As the fifth lord in the 11th house, Venus under Krittika's influence guides your thoughts towards social relationships, creativity, and refinement with a discerning eye. You're likely focused on creating meaningful and authentic connections, valuing quality over quantity in friendships. Your mind gravitates toward creative pursuits that allow you to express beauty and truth, and you're often considering how to use your social influence or artistic talents to make a clear, transformative impact. Cancer ascendant, Mars as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, 10th house. With Mars in the 10th house, Krittika's sharp, decisive energy directs your thoughts toward career ambitions and public standing. You're likely focused on professional success and how to stand out with strength and precision in your field. Your mind is often occupied with strategies to achieve goals or take decisive actions in your career, with a strong desire to lead or influence through your authority. Krittika's influence makes you keenly aware of your impact, pushing you to eliminate any distractions and stay focused on your objectives. Leo ascendant, Jupiter as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, 9th house. Jupiter in the 9th house brings expansive, philosophical thoughts focused on higher learning, truth, and ethical understanding. Krittika's influence adds sharp discernment, urging you to seek clarity and wisdom with precision. Your mind is often directed toward finding truth and sharing knowledge that transforms others' perspectives. You're inclined to cut away superficial ideas in favor of profound, ethical teachings, contemplating ways to teach or guide others with wisdom and clarity. Virgo ascendant, Saturn as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, 8th house. Saturn in the 8th house under Krittika's influence focuses your thoughts on transformation, discipline, and stability in the face of life's deeper challenges. You may often think about managing resources, handling responsibilities, or dealing with profound subjects in a practical, realistic way. Krittika's energy sharpens your mental focus, allowing you to tackle complex issues with clarity and precision. You're likely drawn to strategies that bring stability and structure to areas of life that others might find intimidating. Libra ascendant, Saturn as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, 7th house. With Saturn in the 7th house, Krittika's discerning energy shapes your thoughts around partnerships and relationships. You're likely to focus on commitment, integrity, and authenticity in connections, often reflecting on how to build relationships based on mutual respect and honesty. Kritika's influence encourages you to set clear boundaries and expectations, making you think about partnerships with a precise, realistic perspective, favoring quality over quantity in personal connections. Scorpio ascendant, Jupiter as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, sixth house. Jupiter in the sixth house brings a focus on service, health, and ethical work practices. Kritika's influence enhances your desire for clear, purposeful actions in these areas, and you may often think about how to bring wisdom and discipline to daily routines or health practices. You're likely drawn to explore ideas of self-improvement and service to others, with thoughts that center on efficiency, ethical standards, and making a tangible impact through disciplined work and support. Sagittarius ascendant, Mars as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, fifth house. With Mars in the fifth house, Kritika's intense, transformative energy adds a fierce, precise focus to your thoughts on creativity, self-expression, and leadership. You're likely contemplating ways to showcase your talents and passion in clear, impactful ways, often focusing on projects that allow you to make a lasting impression. Krittika encourages you to channel your energy toward creative pursuits with purpose, cutting through superficial distractions and committing fully to what you create or lead. Capricorn ascendant, Venus as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, fourth house. With Venus in the fourth house, Kritika's energy shapes your thoughts around home, family, and creating a nurturing environment. You may often think about how to bring beauty, clarity, and harmony to your domestic space, prioritizing authenticity and quality in your personal life. Kritika's influence makes you keenly aware of how to cultivate stability and refinement in family relationships, often focusing on ways to transform or enhance the home environment with a practical, discerning approach. Aquarius ascendant, Mercury as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, third house. Mercury in the third house, influenced by Krittika, brings a sharp, articulate focus to your thoughts on communication, learning, and interactions. You're likely to think about how to convey ideas with clarity and precision, valuing truthfulness and directness in your exchanges. Kritika's energy makes you a keen observer, often drawn to topics that require critical thinking or analysis. Your mind is focused on how to communicate in ways that are impactful, informative, and transformative. Pisces ascendant, Moon as the fifth lord in Krittika Nakshatra, second house. With the moon in the second house, Kritika's discerning and purifying energy influences your thoughts around family, values, and security. You may often think about how to create stability and clarity in your home life, seeking emotional security through direct, honest relationships with family. Kritika's influence encourages you to cut away unnecessary emotional clutter, focusing on what truly matters to you, and nurturing an environment of integrity and truth within your household. These insights reveal how Krittika Nakshatra's themes of clarity, transformation, and sharp focus influence your thought patterns based on your specific fifth lord placement. Each placement under Kritika's energy encourages you to bring precision, insight, and authenticity to your intellectual pursuits, self-expression, and areas of creative focus. What you are thinking. Most of the time, a deeper dive into your mind's patterns. What I've often seen in Vedic astrology is that the fifth house, its ruling planet, and the sun in your chart reveal a lot about your thought patterns and mental energy. These elements combine to shape not only your intellectual approach, but also your creativity, passions, and even romantic inclinations. Let me guide you through how each part of this cosmic trio impacts what you're likely thinking about most of the time. 1. The fifth house, core of your thoughts and creative energy. Intellect and creativity. In astrology, the fifth house is your center for mental energy and how you channel creative expression. If you find yourself deeply drawn to art, music, or conceptual work, it's likely because this house has strong influences that make you naturally creative. Romantic thoughts and joy. This house also governs romance and love. So if you're daydreaming about love, the fifth house has a role here. You're often thinking about joy, excitement, and even the thrill of speculative risks because this house fuels those desires. Judgment and speculation. When you weigh risks or have a gut feeling about something, that's your fifth house talking. It controls your ability to make calculated moves. So if you're drawn to areas that involve speculation, like investments, this house plays a big part. 2. The fifth lord, directing your thought patterns. The planet ruling your fifth house, known as the fifth lord, gives direction to your thoughts, focusing your intellectual energies. Its placement in your chart is like a map to understanding what captivates you mentally. If it's in the first house, you're often self-reflective, thinking about how you come across to others or how you express yourself. In the second house, family and security are big themes, and much of your thinking might be about values, traditions, or stability. In the third house, you're likely absorbed with learning, communication, and perhaps building specific skills that let you express yourself. In the 10th house, your career dominates your thoughts, guiding you to think about achievement, recognition, and success. Tasha 3, the sun, illuminating your sense of purpose and thought clarity. Self-esteem and purpose. The sun represents your soul and drives your sense of purpose. If your sun is strong and well-placed, you're likely confident and clear-minded, with thoughts that gravitate toward meaningful pursuits. When you feel the urge to work toward something significant, that's the sun lighting up your mind. Sun's placement effects. In the 5th house, you're often thinking about leadership, creativity, and ways to stand out. It amplifies your desire for self-expression. In the 9th house, your mind wanders toward big picture ideas, philosophy, and perhaps spiritual concepts. You're drawn to explore and question. In the 12th house, your thoughts may turn inward. This placement pulls you toward introspection and possibly even spiritual or subconscious exploration. 4. Aspects and conjunctions, shaping specific thought themes. When planets influence your 5th house, 5th lord, or sun, they add layers to what you're thinking about. Jupiter's influence makes your thoughts optimistic, broad-minded, and often philosophical. Mercury's influence sharpens your analytical abilities, making you focused on communication and intellectual agility. Saturn's influence adds seriousness and sometimes skepticism, making you think practically and with discipline. Mars's influence intensifies passion and drive, but can bring impulsive or assertive thinking if not balanced. 5. Combining these influences for your mental blueprint. By considering the unique blend of your 5th house, 5th lord, and sun's positions, I can get a sense of your main mental themes. Here are a few examples to show how these play out. If you have a powerful sun and a 5th lord in your 10th house, your mind is likely focused on ambition and creativity in your career. If your sun and 5th lord are in water signs or in the 12th and 8th houses, your thoughts might often be introspective or focused on deeper, transformative subjects, such as psychology or even the occult. Nakshatra influence on thought process in the 5th house. Now, let me examine the placement of different planets in each one of the 27 nakshatras of Vedic astrology within the 5th house, and let's see how that plays out in your thought process. Each nakshatra brings its unique flavor to your mind's landscape, and the planetary placements within these nakshatras can further refine and add depth to what you think about and how you process the world around you. Thought patterns of Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra for all ascendants. Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, spanning Leo and Virgo and ruled by the sun, is symbolized by the back legs of a bed, representing stability, commitment, and the support needed to sustain long-term goals. Known for its generous, reliable, and purposeful energy, Uttara Phalguni is the nakshatra of givers who value relationships, responsibilities, and achieving success through steady, dedicated efforts. This nakshatra encourages individuals to seek meaningful connections, engage in acts of service, and build foundations that stand the test of time. Here's how the 5th lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra shapes your thought patterns, depending on your ascendant and house placement. Aries ascendant. Sun as the 5th lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, 5th house. With the sun as the 5th lord in your 5th house, Uttara Phalguni's stable and purposeful energy enhances your thoughts on creativity, self-expression, and legacy. You may often think about how to create something lasting and impactful, guided by a sense of responsibility and pride. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to take a disciplined approach to your creative pursuits, making your mind focused on building a legacy through your talents. Your thoughts center around creating joy and fulfillment, valuing accomplishments that reflect dedication and integrity. Taurus Ascendant. Mercury as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, fourth house. With Mercury in the fourth house, Uttara Phalguni's nurturing and dependable energy shapes your thoughts on family, home, and emotional security. You're likely to think about how to bring stability and support into your family life, often focusing on building a foundation of trust and communication. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to engage thoughtfully with loved ones, valuing a supportive environment. Your mind is focused on fostering a harmonious home where relationships are grounded in respect, compassion, and lasting connection. Gemini Ascendant. Venus as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, third house. With Venus as the fifth lord in the third house, Uttara Phalguni's balanced and reliable energy enhances your thoughts on communication, creativity, and intellectual pursuits. You may often think about how to express yourself with clarity and purpose, guided by a desire to connect meaningfully with others. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to value sincerity and mutual respect in interactions, making your mind inclined toward building intellectual connections. Your thoughts are focused on fostering relationships through thoughtful communication and sharing ideas that promote understanding and growth. Cancer Ascendant. Moon as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, second house. With the moon as the fifth lord in your second house, Uttara Phalguni's stable and nurturing energy guides your thoughts on family values, finances, and emotional security. You may often reflect on how to build a lasting foundation that supports your loved ones, valuing traditions and a sense of continuity. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach finances and family matters with care, making you inclined to create a nurturing environment. Your mind is focused on establishing security and comfort, seeing material stability as a way to honor family bonds and support those you care for. Leo Ascendant. Sun as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, first house. With the sun as the fifth lord in your first house, Uttara Phalguni's dignified and committed energy strongly influences your sense of self and personal expression. You're likely to think about how to embody responsibility and integrity, often reflecting on how to present yourself as a reliable, honorable individual. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to live with purpose and a sense of duty, making you mindful of how you impact others. Your thoughts are centered on self-expression that reflects confidence, sincerity, and a commitment to personal growth and support for others. Virgo Ascendant. Saturn as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, 12th house. With Saturn in the 12th house, Uttara Phalguni's reflective and disciplined energy brings a thoughtful, introspective quality to your thoughts on spirituality, inner peace, and solitude. You may often think about how to bring purpose and structure to your spiritual pursuits, guided by a desire to achieve inner fulfillment. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach spirituality with a sense of duty, making you inclined toward practices that bring stability and clarity. Your mind is focused on creating a peaceful inner world, often seeing personal growth as a journey of self-discipline and spiritual alignment. Libra Ascendant. Saturn as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, 11th house. With Saturn in the 11th house, Uttara Phalguni's stable and goal-oriented energy shapes your thoughts around social networks, friendships, and aspirations. You're likely to think about building meaningful, lasting relationships within your social circle, guided by a sense of purpose and mutual support. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach friendships with loyalty and responsibility, often valuing connections that stand the test of time. Your mind is focused on achieving long-term goals and aligning with groups that share your values, making you inclined to cultivate relationships that contribute to collective well-being. Scorpio Ascendant. Jupiter as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, 10th house. With Jupiter in the 10th house, Uttara Phalguni's noble and responsible energy enhances your thoughts on career, public standing, and leadership. You're likely to think about how to make a meaningful impact in your professional life, guided by a desire to serve others and build a lasting legacy. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach your career with wisdom and integrity, often reflecting on how to bring generosity and support into your public role. Your mind is focused on achieving success through ethical practices, valuing leadership that reflects compassion, honor, and a commitment to greater good. Sagittarius Ascendant, Mars as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, ninth house. With Mars in the ninth house, Uttara Phalguni's disciplined and purposeful energy brings a focused, action-oriented approach to your thoughts on philosophy, higher learning, and spirituality. You may often think about how to pursue knowledge that aligns with your beliefs and values, guided by a drive for self-improvement and truth. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to explore ideas with dedication, seeing your personal philosophy as a foundation for growth. Your mind is focused on understanding life's greater meaning, often valuing experiences that deepen your knowledge and allow you to connect with your purpose. Capricorn Ascendant, Venus as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, eighth house. With Venus in the eighth house, Uttara Phalguni's transformative and supportive energy shapes your thoughts around intimacy, shared resources, and deep emotional connections. You may often think about how to cultivate trust and commitment within relationships, valuing depth and loyalty in bonds with others. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach relationships with a sense of responsibility, seeing partnerships as sacred commitments. Your mind is focused on creating lasting emotional connections, often contemplating how to bring stability and support to shared resources and transformative experiences. Aquarius Ascendant, Mercury as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, seventh house. With Mercury in the seventh house, Uttara Phalguni's reliable and cooperative energy influences your thoughts on partnerships, collaboration, and communication. You're likely to think about how to build balanced, supportive relationships, guided by a desire for mutual understanding and shared growth. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach partnerships with sincerity and clarity, making you inclined to value open and respectful communication. Your mind is focused on forming connections that are both intellectually stimulating and emotionally secure, often seeing relationships as a path to stability and long-term fulfillment. Pisces Ascendant, Moon as the fifth lord in Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra, sixth house. With the Moon as the fifth lord in the sixth house, Uttara Phalguni's practical and nurturing energy brings a caring approach to your thoughts on work, health, and daily responsibilities. You may often think about how to support others through your work and bring compassion into your routines, guided by a sense of duty and service. Uttara Phalguni encourages you to approach daily tasks with kindness and consistency, often reflecting on how to create stability in your work life. Your mind is focused on fulfilling responsibilities with care, valuing routines that contribute to your well-being and the well-being of those around you. What you are thinking. Most of the time, a deeper dive into your mind's patterns. What I've often seen in Vedic astrology is that the fifth house, its ruling planet, and the sun in your chart reveal a lot about your thought patterns and mental energy. These elements combine to shape not only your intellectual approach, but also your creativity, passions, and even romantic inclinations. Let me guide you through how each part of this cosmic trio impacts what you're likely thinking about most of the time. 1. The fifth house, core of your thoughts and creative energy. Intellect and creativity. In astrology, the fifth house is your center for mental energy and how you channel creative expression. If you find yourself deeply drawn to art, music, or conceptual work, it's likely because this house has strong influences that make you naturally creative. Romantic thoughts and joy. This house also governs romance and love. So if you're daydreaming about love, the fifth house has a role here. You're often thinking about joy, excitement, and even the thrill of speculative risks because this house fuels those desires. Judgment and speculation. When you weigh risks or have a gut feeling about something, that's your fifth house talking. It controls your ability to make calculated moves. So if you're drawn to areas that involve speculation, like investments, this house plays a big part. 2. The fifth lord, directing your thought patterns. The planet ruling your fifth house, known as the fifth lord, gives direction to your thoughts, focusing your intellectual energies. Its placement in your chart is like a map to understanding what captivates you mentally. If it's in the first house, you're often self-reflective, thinking about how you come across to others or how you express yourself. In the second house, family and security are big themes, and much of your thinking might be about values, traditions, or stability. In the third house, you're likely absorbed with learning, communication, and perhaps building specific skills that let you express yourself. In the 10th house, your career dominates your thoughts, guiding you to think about achievement, recognition, and success. Kasher 3, the sun, illuminating your sense of purpose and thought clarity. Self-esteem and purpose. The sun represents your soul and drives your sense of purpose. If your sun is strong and well-placed, you're likely confident and clear-minded, with thoughts that gravitate toward meaningful pursuits. When you feel the urge to work toward something significant, that's the sun lighting up your mind. Sun's placement effects. In the 5th house, you're often thinking about leadership, creativity, and ways to stand out. It amplifies your desire for self-expression. In the 9th house, your mind wanders toward big picture ideas, philosophy, and perhaps spiritual concepts. You're drawn to explore and question. In the 12th house, your thoughts may turn inward. This placement pulls you toward introspection and possibly even spiritual or subconscious exploration. 4. Aspects and conjunctions, shaping specific thought themes. When planets influence your 5th house, 5th lord, or sun, they add layers to what you're thinking about. Jupiter's influence makes your thoughts optimistic, broad-minded, and often philosophical. Mercury's influence sharpens your analytical abilities, making you focused on communication and intellectual agility. Saturn's influence adds seriousness and sometimes skepticism, making you think practically and with discipline. Mars's influence intensifies passion and drive, but can bring impulsive or assertive thinking if not balanced. 5. Combining these influences for your mental blueprint. By considering the unique blend of your 5th house, 5th lord, and sun's positions, I can get a sense of your main mental themes. Here are a few examples to show how these play out. If you have a powerful sun and a 5th lord in your 10th house, your mind is likely focused on ambition and creativity in your career. If your sun and 5th lord are in water signs or in the 12th and 8th houses, your thoughts might often be introspective or focused on deeper, transformative subjects, such as psychology or even the occult. Nakshatra influence on thought process in the 5th house. Now, let me examine the placement of different planets in each one of the 27 nakshatras of Vedic astrology within the 5th house, and let's see how that plays out in your thought process. Each nakshatra brings its unique flavor to your mind's landscape, and the planetary placements within these nakshatras can further refine and add depth to what you think about and how you process the world around you. Thought patterns of Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra for all ascendants. Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, spanning Sagittarius and Capricorn and ruled by the sun, is symbolized by an elephant's tusk, representing victory, permanence, and unwavering determination. Known for its disciplined, focused, and goal-oriented energy, Uttara Ashadha is the nakshatra of achievers who are dedicated to pursuing their objectives with persistence and integrity. This nakshatra encourages resilience, commitment, and a drive to create lasting success. Here's how the 5th lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra shapes your thought patterns depending on your ascendant and house placement. Aries ascendant, sun as the 5th lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, 9th house. With the sun as the 5th lord in your 9th house, Uttara Ashadha's ambitious and truth-seeking energy influences your thoughts on higher learning, philosophy, and personal beliefs. You may often think about how to pursue knowledge and wisdom that align with your purpose, valuing integrity and persistence in your pursuits. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to explore philosophical truths with dedication, making your mind focused on achieving clarity and depth in your beliefs. Your thoughts are centered on intellectual and spiritual growth, valuing knowledge that supports lasting fulfillment. Taurus ascendant, Mercury as the 5th lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, 8th house. With Mercury in the 8th house, Uttara Ashadha's focused and transformative energy shapes your thoughts on hidden knowledge, transformation, and personal depth. You may often think about how to approach complex subjects with curiosity and resolve, driven by a desire for deep understanding. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to pursue knowledge that challenges and changes you, making your mind focused on uncovering life's deeper truths. Your thoughts are centered on exploring subjects that have lasting impact, valuing intellectual exploration that leads to inner growth and resilience. Gemini Ascendant, Venus as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, seventh house. With Venus as the fifth lord in the seventh house, Uttara Ashadha's committed and partnership-oriented energy influences your thoughts on relationships, mutual goals, and shared values. You're likely to think about how to build lasting partnerships that are based on integrity and mutual support. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach relationships with dedication and sincerity, making your mind focused on creating bonds that stand the test of time. Your thoughts are centered on partnerships that bring stability and growth, valuing relationships where both partners strive toward common goals. Cancer Ascendant, Moon as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, sixth house. With the moon as your fifth lord in the sixth house, Uttara Ashadha's disciplined and resilient energy shapes your thoughts on work, health, and daily responsibilities. You may often think about how to improve your well-being and productivity through consistency and hard work, valuing routines that bring stability and success. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach your daily tasks with focus and persistence, making your mind focused on overcoming obstacles with dedication. Your thoughts are centered on achieving stability and growth through effort, valuing discipline in maintaining well-being and productivity. Leo Ascendant, Jupiter as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, fifth house. With Jupiter in the fifth house, Uttara Ashadha's ambitious and purpose-driven energy enhances your thoughts on creativity, self-expression, and intellectual pursuits. You're likely to think about how to use your talents to inspire and create something lasting, guided by a desire for excellence and personal growth. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach creative and intellectual pursuits with commitment, making your mind focused on achieving fulfillment and purpose. Your thoughts are centered on self-expression that reflects wisdom and integrity, valuing creativity that endures and inspires others. Virgo Ascendant, Saturn as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, fourth house. With Saturn in the fourth house, Uttara Ashadha's disciplined and goal-oriented energy influences your thoughts on family, home, and emotional security. You may often think about how to create a stable and lasting environment for yourself and your family, valuing dedication and commitment. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach family matters with a sense of responsibility and focus, making your mind centered on building a secure foundation. Your thoughts are focused on fostering stability and resilience within the home, valuing emotional security that stands the test of time. Libra Ascendant, Saturn as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, third house. With Saturn in the third house, Uttara Ashadha's disciplined and determined energy shapes your thoughts around communication, learning, and relationships with siblings or close friends. You may often think about how to approach your interactions with responsibility and commitment, valuing substance and stability in your relationships. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to communicate with clarity and purpose, making your mind focused on meaningful connections and intellectual growth. Your thoughts are centered on fostering strong relationships and mastering skills, valuing perseverance and dedication in all your pursuits. Scorpio Ascendant, Jupiter as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, second house. With Jupiter in the second house, Uttara Ashadha's wise and enduring energy influences your thoughts on family values, finances, and self-worth. You're likely to think about how to create lasting security for yourself and your loved ones, driven by a desire for stability and integrity. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach financial matters and family relationships with responsibility and vision, making your mind focused on building a legacy. Your thoughts are centered on creating abundance and security that reflect your core values, valuing wealth that is ethical and sustainable. Sagittarius Ascendant, Mars as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, first house. With Mars in the first house, Uttara Ashadha's driven and goal-oriented energy strongly influences your sense of self and personal expression. You may often think about how to approach life with courage and determination, striving to embody resilience and purpose. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to take on challenges with discipline and focus, making your mind centered on personal growth through action. Your thoughts are centered on self-mastery and achieving personal goals, valuing the strength and perseverance that lead to long-term success. Capricorn Ascendant, Venus as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, 12th house. With Venus in the 12th house, Uttara Ashadha's introspective and enduring energy shapes your thoughts on spirituality, solitude, and inner fulfillment. You may often think about how to find peace and purpose through spiritual exploration, valuing practices that bring inner resilience and contentment. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach spirituality with commitment, making your mind focused on achieving tranquility and understanding through introspection. Your thoughts are centered on seeking meaning and fulfillment within, valuing spiritual practices that offer lasting peace and self-awareness. Aquarius Ascendant, Mercury as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, 11th house. With Mercury in the 11th house, Uttara Ashadha's ambitious and socially conscious energy enhances your thoughts on friendships, aspirations, and intellectual pursuits. You may often think about how to pursue goals that align with your values and contribute to the collective, valuing connections that support mutual growth. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach social relationships with sincerity and dedication, making your mind focused on building a community that reflects shared ideals. Your thoughts are centered on achieving common aspirations, valuing friendships and networks that inspire and motivate. Pisces Ascendant, Moon as the fifth lord in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, 10th house. With the Moon as the fifth lord in the 10th house, Uttara Ashadha's purpose-driven and steadfast energy influences your thoughts on career, public image, and achievements. You may often think about how to build a meaningful professional legacy that reflects personal fulfillment and integrity, valuing a career that brings both success and purpose. Uttara Ashadha encourages you to approach your professional life with dedication, making your mind focused on achieving long-term goals that have a positive impact. Your thoughts are centered on establishing a career that is both fulfilling and inspiring, valuing achievements that make a lasting difference.